A very good morning to our Honorable Chief Guest and resource person for today's webinar, Professor Dr. R. Nagendra, former Head of the Department of Geology at the University, Chennai. Respected Principal, faculty members of KCG, and my dear student participants. On behalf of Department of Civil Engineering, KCG College of Technology, I extend my warm welcome to you, sir. As you all know, today, 22nd April is World Earth Day, celebrated worldwide to protect our planet Earth. This day gives an opportunity for all of us to take protective steps for our planet Earth. Our Mother Earth has given us food, water, and shelter. It is our huge responsibility to protect our Mother Earth. With the increase in globalization, lots of trees are cut down, oceans are polluted, and many animals are becoming extinct. But if all of us work together, we can make our planet greener and happier place. Like we can involve ourselves in recycling and reuse of paper, reducing the use of plastic, and protect the ocean and land from getting plastic polluted. It would be better to know about the journey of our Mother Earth from inception to today from a great speaker, Professor R. Nagendra, on this Earth Day. I request Dr. R. Lakshmipati, Assistant Professor Senior Grade, Department of Science and Humanities, to introduce Dr. R. Nagendra for our students. Save Earth, save yourself. My dear students, I wish you all a very happy Earth Day. Jai Hind and thank you. Over to Dr. Lakshmipati, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my privilege to introduce the resource person of today's webinar, Professor R. Nagendra, so former HOD and retired professor of Anna University, Chennai. So Professor Nagendra received his Master's in Science in Marine Geology from Mangalore University of Karnataka, and received his PhD in Geology from University of Mysore, Karnataka in 1989. So he has over 32 years of teaching and research experience. Held various positions at Anna University during his career. So he has authored more than 80 publications in reputed journals and also part of editorial board member of various journals as well. So he's member of various societies, governing councils, and board of studies. So I take this opportunity to welcome Professor Nagendra to this webinar and share his experience and profound knowledge. Thank you. The stage is yours, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Respected Dr. Vandana Devi, Principal, KCG College, faculty and students, and dear delegates who are all present in this day, a good day called Earth Day. Earth Day, we celebrate Earth Day on the April 22nd, keeping in view, as already Dr. Vandana has told, there is a lot of climate change. Earth Day is a time to turn our attention towards the environment because we are living on this planet Earth. We have to sustain on this planet Earth by protecting this environment, by taking the lot of mineral wealth, fossil fuels, and groundwater for our sustainability. So we are exploring and exploiting many earth resources. Only thing we need to give a equal attention to the environment and climate change without a much destruction of this natural environment. If we have our food from this earth, will be a good investment on this planet Earth. So April 22nd, every year International Earth Day is celebrated, taking a one of these type of a crisis which happened in America. Then people started get aware and start looking towards the pollution-free zone, climate zone by adopting the various methodologies and various procedures through various policies. Now in this context, we will discuss 3 points here for the next 60 minutes. A first point I would like to tell you about this earth. Second one, we will talk about the biodiversity or the life which was existed on this earth and how it has taught us the earth was like this, how earth can be in future. And finally, we will see what is our anthropogenic interface on this natural earth and causing today's a burning issue called global warming. So that's why I put a title called Earth Journey from the Day of its Origin till today, what we understand through our science and technology, and which was taught us by the life which was existing in the earth and also where we were lived. So we know all of us, we are maybe 100 years, 200 years memories with us, or even up to 800 years memories by looking various architectures and cultural heritage sites. But when was this earth has been born? When was earth has been originated? So if you take it, this curiosity of the question, then it comes to that, what is the age of a man? We know our birthday, we know our parents' birthday, we know many leaders' birthday. What is the birthday of the earth? What is the birth time of the earth? So when you look into this factor, then the concept of this earth comes to mind. As you know, earth is a third planet in a solar system having a 4 spheres: atmosphere, which is above us; lithosphere, where we are living; hydrosphere, that is the water. That is the water. Hello? Yes, sir. Yeah, I received a mail. I will be coming, sir. I will be returning on 29th only, sir. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Around 9 o'clock, sir. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Sorry for the interruption. There was an important call. That's why I could be able to take this break. So Earth has a atmosphere, lithosphere, and water body, which we call hydrosphere and geosphere. So these 4 spheres was made possible to understand life existence on this earth as on today, but still many new advancement is going on looking towards the Mars and other planets. But as on today, life is possible on this earth because of this, the ozone layer which present on the atmosphere, which filtering all the ultraviolet rays and allows the life existence on this planet earth. So what is this earth is? As when earth is formed from the solar system, which comes out as a gas cloud hypothesis, nebular hypothesis, dust hypothesis, many hypotheses were evolved. That time we understood the earth was only one solitary body around which there was a water. If you see this picture which was united together of all the continents, what we are seeing today's world map, which is called Pangea. So if you see all the continent has been marked here, India is here. India was here and only one ocean, one land. So due to this internal structure, internal engine by the convection current and rotation of the earth, which has triggered these hard crystal plates, what we referring as a lithosphere, started fragmenting in different time on the scale, which is when we take a scale of 4,600 million years back, Earth has been evolved. So far we know from the various radiometric dating and some of the signatures available on the Earth surface, later on the signature from the life which was present, which is present today even on the rock body as a fossil. So since then, we try to understand the fragmentation of this Earth into different continents and calling it by naming it different names. So this is the way Earth has been evolved from this unit. But all these animals which were there on the Earth, so these animals fragment today in different fragment to say all these continents were together and today it has been fragmented. A simple example, you can do it in your house. Take the world map and cut all these small fragment of the world, different continents, and make it a puzzle. So you will get this shape. So that is to say, all these continents were together and later it has been subjected to fragmentation due to the internal convection current and the internal heat and pressure. So this is an evidence to say all continents were together and it is possible to understand how the Earth was there. When the continents were dispersed, You can see this a little bit on animation. You see, this is a Earth started from present day, how it was 200 million years back. So this is not an animation or a cartoon picture. It is a scientific derivation derived with the various evidences obtained across the continents by the scientists and technologists. So this was the time scale, which is you can see from this red mark. And this is a 200 million years back. All these Earth were together, which are shown to you. To that, it started fragmenting due to these internal Earth processes. So if you take this 200 million years, all these were there. Where was India? You were not able to see at all. Then subsequently, this has started fragmenting like this. It was moving. So India started take a flight, and India got separated from Antarctica, Australia, Madagascar. This is Madagascar. Suddenly it is not moving. All these red marks are all hot spots. It's all volcanic heat which emitting out due to this disintegration of hard lithospheric plates of almost a 30 to 35 kilometer thickness on the land part and 8 to 9 kilometers in the oceanic part. So this is what we are looking at Deccan Trap. What you're looking near the Pune, a black rock, which is due to this hot spot. So these are all the different fragmented continents evolved into an Earth body. So when this come to this, that is where the Earth has been evolved, and this Earth evolution has started from this day. And you see on this Earth, what we have seen of a different fragmented body, which was come out, that where the life started from a different time units. So there is a biodiversity of the life from inception day. If you see this picture, you can see here there is a scale. These are all mentioned as 1,000,000 years. And these are all the events. First fish, diversification of animals, first vascular plants, first amphibians, and first reptiles, tree, seed, ferns, mammals, dinosaurs, your first birds and primates, mammals, and human evolution. So this story has been evolved with scientific evidences across the continents, and based on that, we were able to talk about the diversification of animal kingdom, which we called as evolution of life. So this evolution of life has taught us, or why suddenly this particular organism was not present here, why it is present, why it is not present here, why man has not been formed here. So these things are the one which talks about the Earth environment, how the Earth environment changed with time. So this particular environment was not favorable for these organisms to sustain on this planet Earth, hence it got extinct. So these extinct fossils of various units, which is also one of the yardstick to talk about the paleo environment. Earth was like this, Earth is like this, Earth what it may be. So that is the way we can able to judge to look for what may be the future Earth, what is the lessons we have to take from these organisms or a biodiversity of life which was existing on the Earth, and what we are looking today the Earth and how we have to live tomorrow. So that is the way this Earth Day speaks on this diversity. We will quickly go on these slides. You see the first simple organism identified by, which is called a bacteria. The types of organism exist on our planet, that is called prokaryotes. So this includes a bacteria. Here today we have a bacteria. That means a different species evolution of bacteria present from the day one to till today. It is sustainable in all the environments. So that is the way the environmental scale can able to measure. The subsequently a diversity started. Complex organisms start emitting on the Earth's surface. That is called again a second group of eukaryotes, which are complex cells that have compartments with special jobs and DNA in the nucleus. So keeping this only, we were able to talk about the time of its origin, time of its living, and what the conditions are existing on the Earth in the geological past. So if we take all these higher plant group of unit, fungi, golden algae, protozoa, plants, and animals, all these start living on this planet Earth. This entire unit has been put into a scale. This scale, we call it as time scale, because we know as on today the Earth has been started 4,500 million years till zero. What we are able to visualize on this Earth. Why we are doing this exercise? Two things. One, we have to live on this Earth. For that, we need a food and shelter and a mineral wealth. Second one, we need an environment. To balance these both factors, we are trying to understand these factors. So 4,500 to still zero, what is happening? So as I told you, whatever the organisms which are shown in the previous slide, which was a ready reckoner in the sense that was physically present on that particular time. Today it is not there, or today it may be there its offspring or its variations. But that fossils which were lived in that geological past, which were able to talk about the history of this Earth and giving a guidelines to Earth how it was there. So 4,500 years allows the piece together of this history of the Earth. In the sea, that time there was a bombardment when Earth has been formed, early Earth. So during this formation, Earth was bombarded by meteorites. So that inhospitable environment condition probably were not allowing any life to exist on the Earth during the period of 4,500 to 3,800 million years duration. So even though you may surprise, but these are all the facts and a science. Even though man is 1 million years old, you can able to probe into a 4,800 million years old based on these evidences. So the life was not present when Earth has been formed. Because of this, the clusters of this bombardment of meteorites, heat, formation, and lava coming out, the unstabilization, still it gets stabilizes. This was the condition. Then the first living started in 3,800 to 3,000 million years ago. The evidence has been shown life evolved shortly after the bombardment, ended in early history. This is a modern bacterial mouse, and this is a fossil bacteria. So the first living things were simple bacteria, which dates back to 3,800 to 3,000 million years ago. Then we are trying to understand, that means to live this life, oxygen is there. So there is a early photosynthetic bacteria produced oxygen and released. It was as a waste product because it's consuming the many carbon dioxide. This added oxygen to the atmosphere for the first time, which was also resulted by the rocks which are present on that particular time, where you'll have more of iron oxide rocks, oxidation. So that again go back to 3,800 to 3,500 million years back. So this was an evidence to talk about how the life has begun on this Earth. In the sea, again, a complex cell started 2 billion years ago. This particular organism, eukaryote, has appeared. These are compartments with special functions, such as energy factories, which called mitochondria, because it started evolving itself to capture the food, to digest the food, to sustain that particular oxygen level, water level. So that is the way it is started its own. No architecture, nobody has guided this animal to be like this. It is a natural phenomena that is 1,900 million years ago. That is I'm not telling you these names because definitely engineers will not like these names. That's why I'm going with the numerical names. 1,900 million years ago, this was an identification. Then comes to that a multicellular life, that is half billion year, many cell life appeared. So one of the life is Grapania, which is 1,400 million years ago. This life came to a limelight in the past records to understand about the environment of the Earth in the inception to the journey towards today. Again, after a short time, 1,200 million annum, algae evolved. That is called, what we called in biology is a Big Bang biology, as a Big Bang informations, which you obtained exploited information to talk about a life with life is moving. In the same time, there is called Ediacara evidence, that is 630 to 540 million years duration. The familiar kingdom of these animals, plant and fungi had evolved. This particular Ediacara fauna of this type has a time interval stretched with a different impressions on the earth surface and bizarre organisms which also drawn from the animal life. So because that time there was no anthropogenic interface, not much of environmental hazards. So whatever it has been evolved, that was able to preserve in the earth record. That preservation, today it is there present around the world, and even in India, we have very good sites to look for ancient life. You see here, the diversity explores, it modifies according to the size. You see this organism, who has given this architecture? Who has given this color? This all goes to the ecology, environment, sustainability, and it also has to live with the other diversity group of animals, so that for a particular system, it was growing what you call functionary system on its growth. So this is one of the Burgess shell fossil, a claw of animal carries, which is after death and decay, it is impregnated on the rock. Sometimes it preserves as it is, sometimes it preserves a fragmenting. So this around 542 million years, several fossil sites, that is fossil is nothing but ancient animals and plants, which shows a diversity of animal life. So that a dramatic change explored over a short period of time, that is in 540 to 515 million years ago. Then on to land, making it tracks, animals start living. It wanted to come out of the water to test its ability, can I live without water? So this information we obtained from this track of these organisms, around 500 million animals, tracks in the ancient coastal dunes show that some marine animals started living on the shore, making a temporary visit, trying to look whether I can stay live here or not. Because again, it comes to a survival of the fittest. If entire animal is in the sea, where is the food? Where is the oxygen? So is it possible to come out of the water and trying to live? So that is the way it also made an experiment to attempt to come out. That was a story of 500 million years ago. When you come to the land, permanent residents, ancient worm burrows, you might have seen many earthworms, worms and primitive plants started to colonize the land, and which was giving a scale of 460 million annums ago. So all these things are present in a very, so many of these things what I'm showing is present in a Natural History Museum in London, and in many museums in other places. Even we have present in India in a various both geological and zoological and science museums in different parts of the country. Again, if you see on the land, a test for plants, fossil millipedes, fossil pole plants, these are all plants. Analysis of this fossil post shows that animals started eat plants. It stopped living by eating plants around 420 million annums. We know this story from this, how it was living earlier. We don't have much evidence. That's why we are not able to talk about when it started eating. So millipedes and their paw in this particular bed of Shropshire, you can able to say 420 million years ago. You may question me how it is possible to talk about millennia story from these small organisms or small plants. Yes, it is possible through various types of isotopes. Isotopes which are present, that will be present as we are talking today, DNA to give a linkage from one generation to another generation, one relation to another relation. Like that in a plant when it was living, what was the inhaling of this carbon dioxide? What is the inhaling of this oxygen which is present in it, and how it is segregated? What are the radioactive elements like uranium, thorium, potassium, argon, such type of elements which are present in these materials which is hardened body today, that is possible to what you call spontaneously ignited with the half-life period, and we can find out the date of birth of these materials to detect these type of informations. Again, on the time capsule, 400 whole land ecosystem has been understood in a Rhine chart. So 400 million years, we became a time capsule at this Scotland. A volcanic hotspot erupted. After eruption, how the land ecosystem was happened around 400 million years ago. Again, first forest, tree trunks, large leaves, seeds. This forest was born on 380 million annums as plants grow trunks, leaves, and seeds for the first time. Even whenever you have a time, because you are from Tamil Nadu, whenever you go for a trip to a place called Ariyalur near Tirchi, 75 kilometers from Tirchi, where you can see all these plants which are lived in 250 million years and 130 to 65 million years old, animals which are lived in the sea. During that time, Tirchi and Ariyalur was under the sea. Now it is emerged out with time and various types of the tectonic activities. Today you can go and see all that, the death and preserved animals of a diversified group. One of the thing is, you go to a place called Satanu, there you can see 18 meters long tree trunk, which is fossilized today. It is called as wood fossil. In Tamil, we call it as Maradagallu. So once you see that one, what I'm showing you, you will have a question in your mind, how it might have happened, why it happened, when it has happened. From this, what we have learned. So we started raising the question so that by looking the signatures. You see, first amphibians, 380 millions, or certain fish evolved limbs. Fish evolved limbs and lungs for life on land. It started living here. You see how it is growth. When it was in the sea, it was like this. When storm wanted to live on the land, it started growing like this. So there is a called as evolution of adaptation. For example, if we have all fingers are equal, can we get a strength? Can we get a grip? No, it is unequal, but we get a grip. So that is it is evolved from the mammal to catch one trunk of the tree to another trunk of tree. It needs a catching mechanism. To catch a mechanism, it needs a strength and grip. To get a grip, which we need a 5 fingers, so should be in unequal in size. If all are equal, there is no chance of getting a grip. Like that, the many adaptations has evolved from this organism. This was the fish evolved limbs. The first land-dwelling amphibians retained many fish characteristics with modification for its sustainability. That again goes back to 380 to almost 25 million years. This modification started. You say this, bones found in Canada show the reptile which has evolved 315 million annums. Lay eggs on land. This is the name of the reptile. So this, a bone which was preserved in the rock earth, that's what we call Mother Earth. Whatever it is available, everything will keep. And whenever whoever wants, whenever you want, it gives you back. So keeping that view, had a log on a 315 years ago, this reptile has been evolved on this earth. First forest, first rainforest, first fossil plants, around 300 million annums, a coal seams in North America and Europe. That first tropical rainforest had evolved. So that is the start giving a clue to you. There is a thick plants were grown on this time to 320 to 290 million years back. That is passes through the various types of qualification process and converted into a different grades of coal from peat to anthracite. That is what we are using today as a fossil fuel. That means what it has evolved from the earth inception with the advancement of time. So this knowledge has been emerged out for sustainability. Then suddenly what happened? In a 251.4 million years ago, there was a great boom and bust, a great dying. All of us, we have seen tsunami, we heard about earthquake in our life periods, but there was a huge life nearly died in a massive wave of extinction around 251 million years. In the largest so-called, there are 5 great extinction that happened. So nothing was able to sustain. Everything started a new subsequently because that a particular environment which has destroyed. Now all of us we have seen Jurassic Park. All of us we are talking about dinosaurs. Anybody has seen dinosaur? Whether the director who made a film has seen a dinosaurs? No. That means he took a various types of evidences which I shown you from the inception to a death of the dinosaurs from a different locations around the world, and he is able to reconstruct the history and given to you. Yes, this was there. This was a huge animal which was lived. Because of its living, other animals were not lived in that particular time. Suddenly there was a great dying happened due to volcanic eruption and meteoric impact that was not sustainable by that organism. They gone into a mortality. That is 251.4 million years ago. Again, you see boom and bust dinosaurs. About 220 million years shortly after the extinction, dinosaurs appeared. These reptiles lived for 150 million years. That's why even mammals were not able to come out of the evolutionary mechanism. That's why human being also not evolved. So this, if I ask a question whether do we have a dinosaurs today? But many say we say no. But there are some evidences dinosaurs has been transformed into birds, Archaeactrix. Boom and bust. You see, this is a Ionoconodon. Mammals evolved 220 million annums. The same time of dinosaurs, but lived under the shadow for 150 million years. Many were small, nocturnal, insect-eating animals. They need to be active at night. Maybe why mammals are warm-blooded. That is 220 million years back. This the terminology of mammal has been evolved. With this time mammal, man has been evolved 1 million years back. So this is the one boom and bust birds. Archaeactrix is one of the earliest known birds. Birds evolved from dinosaurs. That is called Micropter. It's a small feathered dinosaur. It is well preserved in the European countries. Whenever you go to France or Italy, you can visit these museums. You can see a real what I'm showing here in a live session on this type of live. Keeping this, the organic material, people have studied at a different orientation, technology, science, arts, culture. Then they're able to come to a conclusion. Earth has hosted so much, Earth has invested on this environmental natural system. This is 160 years back. Again, a deep impact, shock, crater, and doom. 65 million years back, the huge meteorite and sequence of volcanic eruption wipe out all the dinosaurs. That's why even if you go, today if you get a dinosaur, there is a dinosaur park in Madhya Pradesh. When you go, all dinosaurs, dead bones, legs and other parts are preserved near the river channel. It was running for the water to escape from this great meteorite heat impact, dust impact, and trying to run because almost 3 days it seems, there was a record, 3 days, there was not much of oxygen circulation, huge dust, heat, and almost it was a dark. That's why this particular organism were not able to sustain and became extinct. Of course, there are a lot of other evidences which you obtained to talk about why it is. Then come to a grass. When the grass has been evolved, around 35 million years old, climate became cooler and drier. Grassland and grazing mammals became widespread. Trees started 35 million years back. When you take it, boom and bust of humans, first is Nagendra. He started what understand around 2 million annums humans evolved. They pioneered the use of fire and tools and control their world and develop the society and culture. That is what is today, which is advanced mammal group of Neanderthal, that is called what? Human. We are trying to understand this, the path of the earth journey to go for a next life, our earth, to see how it is. There may be a 6th extinction following the evolution of humans, have caused huge species loss. And this accelerated from 19th century because we started interfering on this natural system which was living. So all this started. Now we are in the midst of sixth mass extinction. That's why the various types of the disturbance causing for human life. So that is what is about how the biodiversity, which has given a lesson to us about the paleo Earth and the paleo of Earth from 4,500 million years till today, till the human comes to the Earth, which has given a different, the structure, information, and documentation in the natural system that we are able to scrutinize, understand, and trying to look for what the future is. Now we go for a third part, that is what when we started impact, human interference on Earth environment. There are many interference we started because, as I told you, Mother Earth, which absorbs everything. So we have to go for a judicial management of individually we should concern about environment. No need of any talk on environment. No need of any policy on environment. If every human being on this earth say environment is mine, it is my house, my home, let me keep clean, let me keep good environment to get a good oxygen, to get a good unit. So that is the one big, we are talking about global warming today. Since the global earth is talking about this terminology, globe is warming. Why it is warming? Because we started interfacing through industrialization, urbanization, and the indiscriminate usage of natural resources. Then what we have to do? Because we need to live it. Yes, you can use this. The third option of utilizing the Mother Earth resources very judicially, carefully, environmental friendly, definitely these terminals will be wiped out very early. What is this global warming? Why should we be concerned about this global warming? Why we have to look for this? What may be happening? Global warming is the greatest environmental threat of the 21st century. In the 1990s, scientists reached a consensus. Yes, global warming was a cause for concern unless each and every life being who is evolved life being is questions himself, questions the natural nature and human relationship. It is a threat for us. What is this? If you take a record of an ocean are getting warmer, if you see now almost a plus 0.760 degrees temperature increases in 2020. And almost you see, if it is start polluting the surface temperature and global temperature of 1882 to 2020 record, which says from NOAA record, a temperature is increasing. If keep increasing temperature, what will happen? The heat increases. When heat increases, go to the atmosphere. So from it, repercussions are more. Why it heats? How global warming works out? Global warming works out carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide, which normally a natural plant is absorbing and giving a good oxygen. But we are anthropogenic people. We are the people who inducing this extra carbon dioxide, fossil fuels, coal, oil, natural gas, usage of these things for the comfortability and requirement. So in this process, what is happening? Carbon dioxide is start increasing. It is crossing its limit to reach an atmosphere. So this, the addition of this unit, temperature is start rising up. That's why we talked many times, oh, last year summer is better than this year. So 10 years back, summer was like this. This year, summer is more. So these changes are, for us, looks invisible, but naturally it's a continuous. Why is global warming happening? It is pollution from coal, natural gas, and fossil fuels. And burning of fossil fuels, you see, to get a thermal power plant, electricity, moving a communication system, thermal powers. When did global warming start? So this we started almost a record, which we talk in 1880 to 2019. If you see, the temperature and carbon dioxide. So how this carbon dioxide starts slowly increasing with time and reaching today 410 ppm. As it's increasing, temperature is also increasing and it is reaching almost a plus 1.1 degree. So even if it goes to a 2 degrees, 3 degrees, what will happen ultimately? It starts affecting on the atmosphere, planetary system, so that ice start melting. When ice start melting, all the ice melted water start coming towards sea. When sea starts swelling up, what will happen? Sea level rises. When sea level rises, what happens? Indentation. It comes to the land and engulfing all the coastal properties. So this is why it happened. What is this decrease? So we are not seeing any downtrend. The curve till 2019, even 20 also people have worked, still it's increasing. So if you start bringing this curve to again back here, or to a considerably for sustainable to this, then we are investing our knowledge and science and technology on this earth. What is an explanation for this? You see, the incoming solar radiation passes directly through the greenhouse gases, earth surface. Outgoing radiation, heat passes through greenhouse gases, except infrared radiation, which is either absorbed by green gas or trapped beneath them. So this natural green gas, so carbon dioxide from human and animals, equal carbon dioxide taken in by trees. So oxygen given out of the tree is equal to oxygen used by human and animals. So let's see it. So increase in green gas due to human activity, more heat is trapped, causing global warming. We should not allow to more injection into this carbon dioxide to the atmospheric zone, so that when it is trapped, it becomes a thick and causing. So which causes a melting of ice in Arctic regions, cold regions. This melting of ice will start swelling up the seas. As I told you, when it swells, so many natural processes will be resetting up to its mechanism, hence causing the major damage to unit. What is the difference? We talk one side global warming, one side climate change. What is this thing is? Global warming is increasing of Earth average surface temperature, which built by greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Climate change, it is a long-term changes in a climate, including an average temperature and precipitation. So if you see, if you ask, many people will say, in our days were not like this, good rain, good climate, no heat, we were living without fan. So why this sudden change? It is because of the human interface. So effect of global warming is rise in sea level. When it rises, when ice melts, when carbon dioxide increase atmosphere, which becomes a thick heat, earth is start warming up. When earth is warming, more temperature causing the ice melting. When ice melting becomes into a water, this water moves to the ocean or it moves to the lowlands and causing this rising in sea level and start inundating our home. So again, increased temperature, what happens? These forest fire. Then it damages species affected. It is another food web for us. Species affected. You might have seen, if you go to many bird sanctuaries, why bird was flying from a cold countries to warm countries? Because of the life activity, life evolution, which was not possible in that particular time, but it flies all the way from Siberia to India. And there it makes its life forward and take its babies, children back to that. That means it has to be a good climatic condition which is adopted by the birds. So if you increase this greenhouse effect, which causes a damage, the changes in the water supply, naturally carbon dioxide increases. So water supply is not possible. Where is these things? So that causes unit. So effects of global warming, as I mentioned, Archaeactrix plant will be face extinction, insufficient snow for winter spots, area of yield with cereals will increase, high yield of potatoes and sugar beet and other things increases, and more pest and diseases will exist to a mild to wild. Many coastal ports will be flooded, and houses of parliament and other things also get flooded in one of the countries. So loss of these things, sea defenses costing, economy get disturbed, great risk of forest fires, and like this, the many reasons. Even we are all virtually seen how the tsunami has devastated the Indian East Coast. We took a nearly almost a decade to awake ourselves to come out of this great damage which we caused. All of us, this generation has seen that a great devastation. So for that, how these we need to protect the environment. What is the proof? I may show a lot of slides to you. What is the proof of global warming is taking place? Alaska, 1974, 2004. You see the difference between these two photographs. Portage Glacier, Arizona, June 2002, December 2003. So this a visual changes of the natural mechanism is one of the reflection for human interface on this unit. Can we measure how global warming is measured? How much it is yesterday, how much it is today, how it may be there. So taking ice core data, carbon dioxide measurement before 1958, Antarctica, they have taken this ice, they have drilled in Antarctica, took that and trying to measure what was the temperature prevailing in that. Subsequently, carbon dioxide measured in Hawaii since 1958, carbon dioxide atmospheric measurement has been made, and how these changes has been noticed. What causes global warming? Why it is? As I mentioned, two factors: green gases such as carbon dioxide and other gases like methane in the atmosphere, which absorbs the heat radiating from the earth. This trapped heat increases evaporation of water from the ocean into the air to cause a greater increase in warm atmosphere. So carbon dioxide forcing effect on climate. So this combined effect of water vapor, carbon dioxide, and methane, which controls temperature there. So carbon dioxide, which produces by many ways. It may be burning of wood, coal, gas, etc., other than natural emission. So this amount in the atmosphere has risen to 280 ppm parts per million in 100 plus years ago, and it has gone today 370 ppm today. You see the jump of almost nearly to 90% has increased what we were and what is here. So this increase in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is increasing the heat being absorbed from the earth. So that's why this causes global warming. Today's atmosphere is blanket which too thick because of so much emission has been gone. Carbon dioxide atmosphere trapped more heat and causes more water vapor to evaporate into the atmosphere. Our new blanket around the world is simply making the earth too warm. So we need our responsibility of a big scientist and technologist bring an awareness with all human species to make a thinner blanket of our earth. What can happen if you do not produce less carbon dioxide? Obvious, temperature will get warmer, glacier will melt, causing the sea level rise, and more droughts in dry areas, more rain and snow in wet areas, more violent weather around the world, which will bring back to the situation of sixth extinction. If nothing is done, if you're simply talking and leaving the issue like this, if you're not environmentally addressed, environmental education which you're not addressed, environment if you're not implemented, environment if you're not transmitting the knowledge, what will happen? If nothing is done, greenhouse gas effects, carbon dioxide concentration will rise to be more than 700 ppm by 200, which is the today's research record. An average temperature will be a 2.5 to 10.4 degree Fahrenheit. So definitely it is not possible for human race estimate. How to stop this blanket? What we can make it in thinning this? Start putting less carbon dioxide into the air. most of the carbon dioxide in the air will around 100 years. We need to burn less gasoline in our cars, burn less coal in our electricity, use less gas to heat our homes, use less gas and electricity in our factories and our farms. What is an alternative energy? How to do it? What can we use energy to replace carbon-based fuels? Solar, biofuels, wind, nuclear power, geothermal. Of course, already India is moving forward with these 5 alternate energy with a new technology and to machinery with the new intellectuals of India and new budding intellectuals like you. Definitely we can reduce the carbon dioxide sheeting on the atmosphere to become a thing and to give a safer, cooler air. We can also use higher mileage, live and work closer to home, walk, ride bikes, better insulated homes, use more efficient lights, more efficient factories. We cannot leave all these things, we need it. At the same time, as I told you, we should balance it. So this causes, if a thermal expansion, 1 meter sea level rises. If a 1 meter sea level rises, for example, in a Chennai or East Coast or a West Coast, if a 1 meter sea level rises, where the water will go? It will come and engulf all the coastal cities. 0.5 meters, mountain glaciers start melting. Already there is an effect. Greenland ice melt 7 meters. Antarctic ice melt 60 meters. So land water storage less than 0.5 meters. So what expect in the future? Future expectation is sea level prediction are uncertain because our Indian, the pollution, climatic, in Indian panel of climate change, which assessed through the various projects done by various scientists and technologies to see 0.28 to 0.5 meters of sea level rise by 2100. But did not exclude higher rates because this as on today's experiment and project analysis. But there are recent studies, 0.5 to 1.4 meter rise in sea level may be there by 2100. Even if greenhouse gas are stabilized now, substantial sea level rise would continue for several centuries because we are already damaged. Because of the inertia in the climate system is 0.25 meter per year, per century. So this is what being done now to reduce our emission: solar, wind power, fuel efficiency. All of us, we are in these 3 missions. If you go to Cochin airport is by solar power. A wind power in Tamil Nadu, in other places, in Rajasthan, there is a huge production of the electricity for the wind power and fuel efficiency. We have come to almost the petrol to electrical cars. Once these things comes, hopefully we will reduce the emissions of the carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. We will protect our earth and we will live happily. What can we do to help solve the problem? So it is our earth. So simple things to do. We are all a participant of this, so that support these things. These are all the common words. Every day, everybody will tell, turn off your computer when you're not using it. Take a shorter shower, heating water, less energy. Keep rooms cool by closing blinds. Turn off the lights when you're leaving the room. Use compact fluorescent bulbs. Turning off air conditioners normally when it is cold instead of turning up the heater. So our offer to help your parents keep the air filters on your AC and furnace clean. Walk short distance instead of asking of a ride in a car, and plant a tree. If you do these things and use for recycling, as already HOD mentioned, many things has to be done here. So with this, I will conclude my discussion with you and to say thank you for your attention. Thank you, madam.
Sir, that was indeed, that was indeed a fabulous presentation, I would say.
Thank you very
It
much,
was so interesting. And after many years, I am coming across terms like mitochondria, dinosaur, and also it was so nice to hear your lecture, sir. It's our pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and you have also touched upon how our future will be so that it has
Yes.
given a good idea for all our budding engineers. So we have engineers
Yes.
from across departments. We have the participants, and even our final year
Yes.
boys are doing their project work from home. So they have also joined this
Come on, Mike.
webinar from home through online mode. So it is really an eye-opening session for all of us, sir.
Thank you very much.
And
If
as
you have
you
any
said,
suggestions,
yes, sir.
yeah. If you have any suggestions or questions, I'm happy to take.
Yes, sir. Yes. As you said, like we have created enough awareness about environment, global warming, climate change, and so on. Now it's time for all of us to implement it. And I'm sure our students will definitely do something every day. Let us all take a oath on this Earth Day, so that we will definitely reduce the carbon emissions and then lead a better, happy, and safe life on this planet Earth. Vote of thanks.
Yes.
Any questions from the
Yes, Prof.
students?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah.
Tell me, sir. Tell me.
I would
tell
like to start with a word of thanks.
Yeah.
Yes. Are there any questions for the sir? So I would like to proceed with the word of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for gathering here. It gives me immense pleasure to deliver this word of thanks for all the dignitaries gathered here. I would like to thank our beloved Professor R. Nagendra, the retired retired HOD for Department of Geology, Anna University, Chennai, for honoring us with your words on the evolution of the Earth from inception to today. And sir, I think I speak for everybody when I say that we all definitely learned a lot about the Earth and its evolution to today. So thank you, sir. I would also like to thank our principal, the Department of Civil Engineering, and all the faculties who were involved of KCG College of Technology who were involved for making this event possible. And last but not least, I would also like to extend my thanks to you, the students, who made this event a grand success. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I thank Dr. Vandana Devi
Thank
and
you so much,
KCG
sir.
management. I thank all the students and faculty of the college. I thank Mr. Daguram and others who have participated in this lecture, talk, and we are happy of sharing of this a small note to the next generation who takes the environment in a clean environment for sustainable Earth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.